Jamie, talk to us a little bit about the sort of systems or technology that you've put in place that really has made a big impact. I know it's not any one tool or technology, but what are some you felt made quite a big difference in cementing that structure into your firm?
Yeah, look, I think, Thomas, the thing about technology is it's to me it's a tool, and it's not like a lot like I see across the industry. Everyone sort of always talks about the technology and goes on and on about the latest app and this, that, and the other, but really it's secondary. Like, it's absolutely secondary. The first thing that you need to get right is let's call it the people strategy, your ideal team. And if you can get that right with the people, and then the meeting rhythms and routine, that's interdependence. Like, that's the high level of teamwork that you want. And then once you've got that, overlay that with the technology. So whether that's Carbon, we use Start Infinity as a job management system. I mean, there's that many systems out there. There's Zero Practice Manager, there's Monday.com, there's Trello, there's just so many. So you just have to use what works for you in terms of the technology, but it's important to get the people strategy right first, the daily huddle, the weekly meeting, and then overlay that with the technology. So, things that have really worked for us is just the video conferencing. So all internal communications is Microsoft Teams. We can share our screen, and then when you have the daily huddle, or I think when we have our weekly managers meetings, there's about people in about 5 different locations: Gisborne office, Ballarat. One of the senior client managers works from home. Then occasionally, you'll have obviously your offshore staff or your distributed teams. Even for example, at Wise, I think we've got we've got team members from 6 or 7 countries. So having a job management system, whatever it is, and I mentioned a few of those earlier, and then making sure that in your meetings, in your rhythm and routine, that you share on the screen where jobs and priorities are at. All right, so every day those priorities will just filter to the top. A very standard one that I use both in Wise and Sky is just a standard meeting agenda in Microsoft Word, for example. And there'll be so many moving parts to your firm that you must be extremely organised with your meeting agendas. Before you have the meeting, what's the agenda? And it doesn't get removed from the agenda until it's actioned. So the technology is an important piece of it, but you just have to find what works for you. And as I said, there's a myriad of pieces of software, but at a basic level, at a fundamental, you must have a job management system. I have met some firms who haven't had sort of any job management system. They've just sort of flown by the seat of their pants. But you've got to have a job management system, and the ability to have transparency. So transparency so that anyone in that team can see where that job's at, and even really high functioning teams, a bit like Carbon, for example, I think you can see all the emails from the client, or you can see the internal emails from other team members. So as your firm scales, the complexity just will increase. So you've got to invest in new technology, new systems. A lot of firms won't scale because they fail to invest in that type of technology. And I've seen a lot of firms, for example, they've gone out and got Zero Practice Manager, or other firms that then have gone to the next level and they've got, say, linked reporting, for example, just to see the financial analysis of each of their team members as well. So yeah, the technology is absolutely critical, but before that is getting the team structure right, so that the actual physical traffic, whether it's communication traffic or production traffic, actually flows to the right person. And then once you do that, you as the owner, your time will you'll be amazed. It just frees up. And a lot of people say to me sometimes, even when they decide to say join the Wise Growth, they'll say, Jamie, well, how much time will it take? And I just say to them, look, well, if you do 1 hour a day of working on your firm, That's enough for the start. And the magic with working on your firm and implementing the things that we're talking about is that 1 hour a day will just naturally grow. And you know, people say, well, why does it actually grow? Well, the fact is you're going to develop systems, procedures, protocols, policies. You're going to delegate. You're going to hire new people. And I'll never forget it. Like that, you'll just free up your time because you're doing those things. All those things are quad 2 activities. And then all of a sudden you've got your 1 hour becomes an hour and a half. It becomes 2 hours a day. You've got 3. It becomes 4 hours. Then finally it'll become like 6 hours a day that, you know, you've delegated it and you've got those people in place because of policies, procedures, systems, protocols, and you've delegated successfully to the right people. And you know, that's where Thomas always saying you become a team builder. You know, that's like my role at Sky. I just build teams. I try and find the right people, hire the right people, keep the right people, incentivize the right people. And it's all about people. So, you know, whereas it used to be like, yes, it is all clients, but, you know, very close second is the biggest asset you've got is your team members. And that's just solely my focus these days, is just the team, people and systems and getting it all work together.
That's so really insightful, Jamie. It's something that we often forget a lot, how we think signing up to this app, downloading this thing is going to solve the problem. And then even after it's in place, we're looking at it and thinking, it doesn't feel like anything's changed, because actually the root of the problem was who's sitting in that seat in the first place? How have we educated them on their roles in the first place? Then all we've done is took something that wasn't organized and chaotic, say in a brick and mortar environment, and just digitized it, if anything. So thank you for that, Jamie.